Hey folks, welcome back, or of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the first time if you're new here. And as I always say, thank you so much for choosing to join us for a pick a card reading today. And our topic is a good old-fashioned message from the universe. We'll see what comes through, what Spirit wants you to know most right now. But before we pick our piles, just bear with me. I do want to give a personal announcement / kind of a reminder that I am offering personal readings right now, and big shout out and thank you to everyone who has ordered a personal reading so far. It was a blessing, and it was amazing to tap into your energy and provide messages from Spirit to you, so thank you again. And to those of you who have not ordered a reading yet, I do have quite a vast range of, well, it's like 5 different kinds of offerings, from as simple as a little $5 Lenormand, which doesn't mean it's not accurate, as we all know for those of you who had seen my videos before. Lenormand is quite blunt and is great with straightforward answers. So that's like a $5 kind of reading that's on like sort of a sample end if you want to see what a reading with me is like personally, right? All the way up to, I do have an offering that is just like the readings that you see on this channel. Same amount of complexity, same amount of cards, just in a written format delivered to your email via a PDF file instead of through video. So if that interests you, drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment, and I'll have a link there to said readings. Now, thank you for your patience. Let's get to the pick a card part of this video. So we're choosing with 3 different tarot decks today. For pile number 1 here on the left, your deck is the Oriens Animal Tarot. And here is your card, the Wheel of Fortune from that deck. Okay, for pile number 2 here in the middle, you are using Tarot of the Divine. Here's your Wheel of Fortune. And last but not least, for a wonderful pile number 3, we have a good old-fashioned Rider-Waite Smith deck. The specific edition is Centennial, the pocket version. And here is your Wheel of Fortune from that deck. So quick refresher. Pile 1, Oriens Animal Tarot. Pile 2, Tarot of the Divine. Pile 3, traditional Rider-Waite Smith, the Centennial Pocket Edition. Though as I always say, you are perfectly welcome to pause on this part of the video if you need more time to decide. If you are new to pick a card readings and you want my suggestion for a method of choice, or how to choose, I guess I should say, or if you're really stressed out and busy today and you need a nice little moment of peace, please follow my voice right now. So close your eyes and take in a deep, cleansing breath. Imagine light filling your lungs as you do so, then hold it for just a moment. And then when you breathe back out again, open your eyes and look at the 3 choices in front of you. Which calls to you most? Where are your eyes drawn most first? And if you're new to tarot, I always say, go with what your gut or what your intuition says. You'll feel it right down kind of in your solar plexus area, down in your stomach, or kind of around your heart. You know what area I'm talking about, okay? And that is the pile I recommend you choose when you feel that it is right, okay? But whatever your method, drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Find the timestamp there for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about your heartfelt message from the universe today. See you in the reading. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your message from the universe reading, and of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the Oriens Animal Tarot for your deck today. But as we always do when we choose with decks, I'm going to set this card right back into the whole entire deck so that it's available for the message if need be. And speaking of your tarot deck, we're going to begin with your tarot spread, as well as 1 tarot card from a separate tarot deck I want to use today. So, Spirit, for the highest best good of pile 1 today, can you tell me more about what it is you want to talk to them about, as well as advice and where things are going for them? Thank you. Okay, pile number 1. You know, pile number 1, I don't say this very often, but intuitively I'm feeling like something bigger is coming along. I don't quite know what it is yet. We'll of course see that with your tarot spread here. Okay, there we go. That's where Spirit wants me to draw from. That's where I'm going to draw. Yeah, something bigger coming. I don't know if you've been waiting for like the results of something or hearing back on some sort of news. That's kind of what it feels like to me, pile 1. But we'll see. let's grab your Pastoral Tarot as well. And Spirit, oopsie. 1 second, pile one. Cards fell out as I was grabbing the deck over here to the side. Anyways, before I was interrupted by being a Butterfinger, Spirit, if you could tell me a little bit more about how you see pile one in the situation that we're discussing. Thank you. Something big, something, and I say that pile one because intuitively the feeling I was getting down in my own gut solar plexus was a sensation of like excitement, but also nervousness. It's kind of that feeling that's just on the precipice of both, is what I'm hearing. It's like you're waiting for something, you want to hear back on something, as I was saying before. Oh, actually, it's this one. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. And we have the King of Wands. Interesting. So the King of Wands, pile number one. This particular depiction, I love this whole entire deck, but this one shows a man who is a shepherd. He has his flock in the background, but he is teaching, it looks like a sheepdog of some sort, or maybe a collie. People more familiar with dogs, feel free to correct me. I think it's like a collie, right? How to herald the sheep, how to get things in order, how to make sure that they're safe and look over them maybe perhaps while he's not looking himself, right? That's what a herding dog does, basically make sure that they go where they're supposed to go and that they're safe. It looks out for predators like, say, a wolf or a coyote that might come along. And the King of Wands itself, pile one, how that connects to its real deep meaning, at least traditional tarot, is he is a leader that is confident. He is a leader of ambitions. He's a leader of passions, okay? Because he is of the element of fire. And the element of fire represents all of those different things in tarot pile number one. So I wonder if that's part of that excitement I was feeling. And as I said when I was drawing the cards, I asked Spirit, pull a card for me that represents pile one in this situation. I think pile one, you're pretty confident, or if you're not confident about the results or like this big thing coming your way, you should be. Because a King of Wands, if there's any one word that describes who he is or how he feels, it's confident, okay? This can also indicate perhaps that there is someone involved. Like, I know I pulled the card technically to represent you, but it could indicate that some of this excited feeling or like nervous feeling is stemming from someone involved who is a King of Wands himself. So that tends to represent masculine energy, likely a fire sign, or if not a fire sign, how it relates to the situation, or how he does, I should say, is he maybe is like the one you're waiting to hear back from, or is kind of like the gatekeeper of the thing that you're waiting for. Or even if it doesn't exactly match that description, it's someone involved who's like related to this ambition, okay, that you're trying to like work on or achieve or whatever it is, specifically goal. This particular, I almost wonder too if maybe there's someone that you're trying to emulate. Because that's another thing, is a King of Wands is someone that you would want to emulate because they're such a prominent figure. There's someone who is very in your face, and like I said, confident is like a perfect word to use with him, okay? Interesting, especially because he is teaching. Like, it almost might be like you're kind of like the collie or the sheepdog learning from somebody else, and you're like, I really hope I nail this. I really hope I get good feedback on the test I did with this thing I'm trying to learn. It's something along those lines. Let's look at your other tarot cards, of course, though, to get some more insight. The first card is the Magician reversed. Okay, so what that tells me, pile one, is that this is probably why you're having some fear. This might be the nervousness side of what I was picking up on. The Magician reversed can represent a time when we are trying to manifest something, but there's a little bit of a blockage. We're not quite sure how we're going to get this to come to fruition. Maybe you already had a moment of rejection. Like, for those of you especially that are perhaps looking for jobs right now, like you're on a job hunt, job search, you've had rejection in the past. And like, so this represents this past energy of trying to manifest it. Things they're not working out so far. Okay. Or whatever it is the goal is that you're working on that you feel resonates with everything I've described so far. Same thing. Maybe you've been feeling like, man, I can't get this to work. I feel like I keep coming up against a brick wall. I feel like nothing is going the way that it's supposed to. It's that kind of blocked energy of, I have the ideas, I have the ambition, I have the hard work ethic, but it feels like the universe is just not letting that portal open up of my energy into the universe and then back out again of, okay, you put in the sweat equity, here's what you get back out. Like I always use commonly in my readings is the gumball metaphor, okay? You put the quarter in and it's like you waiting, where's my gumball? It's not coming back out. That kind of feeling, okay? And then let's look at your next card. We have, yes, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so that might represent you, pile number one, especially if you are of leaning more heavily feminine energy. She is a queen, of course. And the Queen of Pentacles specifically represents the area of materials, success, with career especially, finance, money, security, things to do with the home. Okay, did I say security twice? I might have. Apologies if I did. And especially too, it's about, because she's the feminine energy, she represents more the internal feeling of security, okay? It's not even that I think that you're asking for too much, and I think you already know this, pile one. It's not even that you're asking for too much. You're just like, I want just enough to feel secure. That's all I want. I just want that little tidbit of feedback from the shepherd or whoever this person is in your situation. Obviously, it's probably not a shepherd, but, I just want that one little glimpse, that little glint down in the murk of everything going on, of this little piece of hope. It's like, that's what it feels like to me, pile one. You're just, I want this piece of hope. Please give me the piece of hope, universe, please, right? That begging almost, that praying, please, okay? For that security especially. So I think a lot of you, this does have to do with either job, career, finances, or like home security as well, okay? Because even when you look at this particular depiction, so I love this deck, she has like maize or corn around her. This, I don't know if it's technically a llama or an alpaca. I think a llama technically, but feel free to correct me in the comments. And, like a lot of main grains of societies, right? Like corn was really, and still is really important to like the Americas, okay? It's not that you're asking for like mountains of corn or mountains of security. You want enough to survive. That's kind of what I'm feeling here, okay? And then the middle card, the heart of the matter, is the Emperor. Okay, we've got more masculine energy coming in here, pile number one, just like the King of Wands. The Emperor is all about control. It's all about having order, making things make sense again out of the chaos of the universe and everything going on. Also just another really great card of like a yearning for stability. I really want stability, universe. I just want things to make sense again, okay? So there might have also have been quite a lot of energy of chaos so far, right? Especially because of that Magician reversed energy of like things are just not manifesting for me, universe. Come on, throw me a bone, right? Speaking of the dog, right? And so it's like, now we're at the heart of the matter, is really, it's not so much about the wanting so much. Like I was saying before, it's not like you want like a gazillion mountains of corn or a gazillion mountains of money. You're just like, I just need enough to feel stable. Okay. Let's keep going. And we have the Seven of Swords. Okay. Black Widow. Actually, normally, pile number one, that would be a negative card, but I have a feeling this might turn positive. Let's look at the last card before I explain. And then we have the Six of Swords. Okay. Yes. It's odd because typically these two cards, well, the Six of Swords isn't necessarily negative, pile one. Seven of Swords tends to be kind of negative, but in this situation, to me, it really feels positive. And that's because the Seven of Swords is all about deception and trickery. It's all about like things not being quite what they seem, especially with other people. It's kind of a little bit sort of like the moon where it's like illusions, but this is more about something is like really deceiving you, okay? But wait, there's more. Like, it's going to be positive because you have the Six of Swords at the very end out here with the outcome. And the Six of Swords is about making progress and moving to better pastures. Speaking of literally what does a sheepdog do? It moves sheep to better pastures where they're safer, right? Exactly. So pile one, I will tell you right now, you are on your journey, on your way towards getting to a better place. You're getting towards a better, especially the things that have been worrying you so far. Maybe even literally like the place that you live hasn't been like the best right now. Like maybe you feel kind of unsafe where you are. Maybe you feel kind of like, Like, this just isn't, even if it's not a safety thing, pile one, it could also be, it just doesn't really fit you. Or it's like, this just, I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, when you move sheep to a new pasture. Like, they've already grazed here. They already kind of went over everything that they need. You know, you don't want them to stay on that particular plot too long because then they might get diseases and stuff. So you move them to greener pastures, to better places. And that's where I'm seeing you going, pile number one. Except the irony here is that you're the sheepdog and the sheep, trying to push yourself to greener pastures. And I do see that trajectory here. And it's interesting with that Seven of Swords. I'm actually going to pull one clarifier, and then we have some oracle cards to pull too. But I'm going to pull a clarifier on the Seven of Swords, because I want to know what is deceiving here. I think there's something Spirit wants you to notice that might help you expedite or like get this moving on along a lot faster. And I know, you know, well, as a human being, number one, but also as a tarot reader, right? When you're in a situation like this where you really want something to manifest, you want to know, like, how do I get this to go faster, if possible? So Spirit, okay. Ooh, Death reversed. Okay. We have the axolotl. Speaking of the Americas, or I think specifically, I can't remember Central or South America, but I do love axolotls. They're amphibians. Very cute. So Death reversed. Oh, okay. So what that means, pile one, is because Death reversed often represents, something seeming, in combination with the Seven of Swords, something seeming like it isn't changing, it is. Okay, I'm going to pull just one more clarifier. Anything else you want to say on that, Spirit? Something's changing, but you don't think it is. You're like, I don't see any outward signs. It doesn't seem like it's going to do anything. And that too, pile one, if you're not familiar, excuse me, with the mythology of the axolotl, it's not just an amphibian, it's also a god, I believe, in a lot of different American cultures, right? And he was a god of, well, many things. Twins, fire, death, hence why it's associated with this. Oh, Two of Pentacles. Balance. There's something deceptive or tricking you regarding what you think is not changing towards greater balance. Pile one. That's what the Two of Pentacles is all about. It's all about, well, number one, money, because it's like Pentacles, like the Queen we had earlier. But it's also about things coming to equilibrium, being able to juggle things a lot easier. And then, yeah, sorry, I came popping out as I was describing Axolotl, the god, right? God of twins, god of fire, god of death, god of also shape-shifting, which is also like another way of being kind of a trickster, something not being what it seems, okay? There's something shape-shifting that you're not noticing, and the hint Spirit wants to give to you is what looks like it's not changing is, in ways you can't currently perceive, and it's something to do with something coming farther or more into balance, or making it easier for you to juggle something, for you to balance it yourself. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards. I want to see what else pops out. Beautiful reading so far, pile number one. Let's look at your angel guide oracle. We're going to get some angels in here with this universe reading. I don't know, felt kind of drawn to angels recently. All right, angels, what else do you want to say to pile one today? Excuse me. Okay, feeling drawn to this one. Speaking of balance and things getting better, pile number one, look at that. We have harmony and resolution. Not only had the balance here in the Two of Pentacles, it's literally what that card represents, but you literally have the two opposites of fire and water here, and the word harmony. Okay, things are gonna get a lot more harmonious. If you needed any sign, pile number one, that things are going to get better here with everything that we already talked about, here you have the angels saying the same thing. Things resolving, too. Whatever has been bothering you lately regarding everything we've discussed so far, how it resonates, right? That's coming to a resolution because of this movement forward here with the Six of Swords, because of something being deceptive here that you don't quite maybe yet understand. Okay, of change happening in the wings, change happening in ways that you don't quite perceive yet. Just like the god Axolotl, maybe sometimes it's a bit deceptive, maybe sometimes it's in a shape-shifted form. So be hyper aware here in the near future, pile one, of help or aid with this thing coming in ways that you don't quite expect. I'll try to see if the other cards have any. They might have some more explanation as to what to look for. We have Resurrection, number 32, Comeback, Rebirth, Renewal. We have a bit of a shared theme here too with rebirth, because that's another thing with axolotls. If you're not familiar with them, they can regrow their limbs. That's why they're representative of the death card in general in this particular deck, right? But also the god axolotl, because literally he's a god of death, which is also technically eventually a rebirth. Okay. Not just is this you getting to better pastures, pile 1, and a return to balance and harmony, but you're also seeing a comeback or a rebirth. So I almost wonder if part of this is something that you had at one point that you're reclaiming. It's like a reclamation, not just a resurrection, but a reclamation, almost in the way of, speaking of, I didn't even mention this, look at the fire wings here in your angel card. Fire wings make me think of phoenixes, and what do phoenixes do in mythology? Well, they are reborn from the ashes of their death, just like death being, leading to rebirth with this particular card. Looking here, specifically, there's a rainbow between the two different buildings, and rainbows also are symbolism, or symbols, I should say, of miracles after hard times, of things getting better after hard times. Just like, after there's a bad storm, then the sun comes out, that's when rainbows appear. So, it's not just you getting to better pastures, pile 1, it's you getting back what you lost in some way. Let's look at your final Sacred Destiny, and then we'll see if there's any final tarot cards I want to pull as clarifiers. Anything else you want to say, Universe, Spirit, to pile number 1? Thank you. I'm also getting the sense intuitively, pile 1, that the thing that will help you, I think, this is why it's deceptive. This is why it's like a shapeshifter, trickstery type of thing. What will help you looks a lot less helpful or smaller than it actually is. For some reason, I'm being shown like a grain of rice or like a grain of sand, like a very small, tiny thing that you pick up, and it doesn't look like, and this is metaphorically speaking, it doesn't look like it would be that helpful, but it is. Especially for those of you that are like looking for maybe like a job hunt, it might be useful for you if you feel inclined in the near future to learn a certain skill that you think is not relevant at all, or you think, well, I don't really know if that 100% applies to the job that I'm looking for. It's something along those lines of, it looks like a grain of rice, it looks like it wouldn't be much, but take it, do it, okay? Or, as I always say, kind of take that how that resonates to your situation if it's not a job hunt, but something along those lines. Opportunity, there you go, pile number 1. Okay, that's the other thing. I think that's really what it is. It doesn't look like it, but there's going to be an opportunity. It won't look like one, but it is. Okay, so please, 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 in the near future, if there's anything you walk away from this reading from, pile 1, please do not hesitate to take any opportunities that come your way, even if they don't look like they're relevant at all to what you're trying to seek. Because it's one of those situations I'm feeling from the universe that, like, okay, say you've been focusing on opening the door right in front of you because you want to get to that next room. And you're like, this is the only way I can get to that next room. I have to go through this door. Someone comes up to the left side of you and says, hey, I have a door over here. And you think, well, that door isn't going to go anywhere I want. It goes off on this hallway. But open it, pile number 1. Take that opportunity that's offered to you, and you're going to find, going through that left-hand door that looks like it's not going to lead anywhere near where you want to go, it's going to double back around to get to the room that you actually wanted to go to. Like I said, metaphorically speaking, apply that to your situation. Look for opportunities and accept opportunities, even where it doesn't look like it's going to lead where you want it to go. Because sometimes the universe gets us to the places we need to go in roundabout ways. Okay, and that will bring you the progress you're looking for, that harmony, that resolution, getting to the better pastures, just like the sheep moving. that will get you perhaps the acceptance that you're looking for. As I was saying in the very beginning, I'm like, some of you are like half nervous, half excited, okay? That will help resolve those feelings in a good way, right? Towards more excitement rather than nervousness. That acceptance you're looking for, that maybe that job you're looking for, if that's your particular situation. And that will also help you get more of that stability and that control and all those kinds of positive feelings from the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor we discussed earlier, okay? So don't shirk opportunities. Take them even if it looks like they're completely out of the blue and it makes no absolute sense, okay? Sometimes you have to walk through the rabbit hole through Wonderland to get back to where things do make sense. Pile 1, okay? Follow rabbit holes. They might guide you somewhere better than you're expecting. So that is your message from the universe today, your heartfelt message. I hope most of all that you liked it, it helped you, and that it resonated, and if so, please like the video. Please comment down below your story. I always love to hear your feedback. And please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I'm super excited for you, pile number 1. I love giving readings like this, and I hope you're just as excited as I am to receive it as I have been giving it to you, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome today to your message from the universe reading. And as you recall, you were drawn to the gorgeous Tarot of the Divine and its particular Wheel of Fortune card for your deck today. Now, as we always do when we choose with decks, I'm going to set this right back into said deck so that it is available for the message if need be. And let's draw your tarot spread now. So calling on Spirit for pile 2's highest best good. Please tell me more about what it is you want to discuss with them today, your advice for them, things you want to tell them that are coming. Thank you so much. Okay. And let's start drawing from this part of the deck. Thank you, Spirit. Wonderful. And then we're also going to draw from a separate tarot deck today. But specifically, Spirit, if you could come forward and give me a card that represents pile number 2 in the situation at hand. There we go. Thank you. Okay, almost had a big pile fall out. Let's see. Okay, this one for sure is like poking, so I'm going to take this one. Okay. All right, pile number 2. Thank you for your patience as I drew the cards. Oh, beautiful. We have the Sun. The Sun as the card representing you. Okay, so pile 2, what that means is the situation the universe wants to talk to you about today is something regarding either happiness or joy, and sometimes the Sun card can represent truth because of the quality that we associate with light, right? We associate light with shining upon dark things, upon revealing things for what they really are, just as the sun does as it rises up every dawn, every day. So, interesting. I feel like a lot of you, and I'm really drawn to the way too about, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but she's looking down at her arm because a monarch butterfly, I think it looks like a monarch, right? Yeah, orange, right? She's looking down her arm where a monarch butterfly has landed. So traditionally, butterflies symbolize a change and transformation in positive ways. This reading is either going to be about giving you something that will provide positive transformation into maybe even like some goal that you have in mind, and you're kind of wondering like, well, what's my next step? What little piece of advice could just push me to the next level? Or in general, with the meaning of the sun, something that's going to bring you happiness or something that's going to be a truth that you need. Okay, so let's look at your main tarot spread that will provide more details. So first up to bat, we have the Magician but upright. Okay, so the Magician but upright is all about manifesting things. Yes. Okay, so I think for most of you, this reading is going to be more about a goal that you've had on your mind for a while, or at least that you've been working on recently, because the Magician is all about bringing things to fruition based on our willpower, based on the materials that we've gathered. Okay, just like, well, I believe this is like the fairy godmother making I think it's in Cinderella, right? She turns the pumpkins into a carriage. So it's like you turning pumpkins into a carriage. I mean, not literally, right? But I mean, whatever are your pumpkins, you're trying to turn them into whatever your carriage is, okay? Trying to make things happen. So most of you, it's going to be a goal. Let's keep going. We'll get some more insight here. Card number 2 is the 10 of Swords. Okay, bit of a darker card. Doesn't mean necessarily anything bad, though. We'll see what the other cards around it are. Traditionally can represent a feeling of betrayal or a feeling of being at the end of something, like you were trying to hold on to something and it feels like you just got cut off in some way. Literally, this is kind of a dark card in the particular deck that this is from, but she literally was trying to hold on to the boat and her fingers got cut. So it's like, yeah, being cut off from something. Let's keep going. Let's look. Context is key in tarot. We have the 4 of Cups is the heart of the matter. Okay. It's interesting because it looks like the same exact bird that's in your Sun card. I think they're both bluebirds, yes, because they have blue caps and then the orange bellies. Okay, I don't know if you can see that on camera. Shared symbolism there, very specific. So I don't know if you've been seeing a lot of synchronicities with bluebirds recently, pile number 2. That could be kind of a sign here from the universe about what this is talking about. And the 4 of Cups is like apathy or not noticing something. Okay, let's keep going. I promise you it will be clear. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have an opportunity, especially in the realm of success and finance and security and money and career, those types of things. Okay, so it is turning positive. Then we have the 4 of Wands reversed, which can represent feeling like something is unstable or feeling like something wasn't celebrated enough or interesting spread you have here, pile number 2. There's a lot of light and there's a lot of dark, which is very interesting because with what I said with the sun, as I was explaining before, the sun and light in general do represent, shedding light upon dark things creates truth because you see things for what they really are. And then we do have that manifestation message there with the Magician. I'm going to look over this one more time for a few more seconds. Apologies for just a moment of silence here, pile 2. Okay. Trying to reveal the light. Getting cut off because you don't notice. And then Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity, though, towards fixing the stability of things. Something, that's what it is, pile number 2. That's why the light and dark imagery was so prominent. Okay. Now this is a reading where you're going to have to hear me out, okay? Because at the beginning you might be like, oh no, this doesn't sound 100% good. But I promise you, because of this Ace of Pentacles, and especially with the sun and its meaning, this is going to turn out better in the end for you than had it been like the situation at hand, like if it had been, 100% hunky-dory, right? And I know that sounds weird. Okay, so hear me out. What I'm seeing here, pile 2, is you have a situation that looks dark on the surface. You have a situation where it feels like, I don't know if like recently you've had a sort of setback in a goal that you're trying to manifest. And you're at the point right now that it's like you wish you had seen it coming. You wish you had paid closer attention. And I say that because the setback part is like the 10 of Swords. You were going along with the Magician. Things are great, bippity boppity boo. You're getting the pumpkins going, turning into carriages. You're ready to go off to the ball. And then boom, 10 of Swords came along. It felt like you either got betrayed or you got cut off from something. It was like you were just ready to let that magic soar or that thing happen, and then boom, no bippity boppity boo. That 10 of Swords occurred. But the beauty is that it's a past card. So I think for those of you that are watching this and you're fearing like, oh god, this is going to happen in the future. No, this is like a past thing. So as I always say, take that as it resonates with your situation. And right now, in the present moment with the 4 of Cups, this is the card of apathy or not noticing things. Because right now, he's looking at the 3 cups in front of him. he's like, oh, these are great over here. I didn't notice this. But then there's a bird behind him on an actual, like, full cup. He has gilded fake birds and fake cups or gilded cups in front of him, but he doesn't notice the one behind him. It's like you were so focused on everything going so well, then this thing snuck up on you, and you're like, man, I should have seen it coming. Well, number one, pile number two, don't feel responsible for that. I'm not hearing anything from Spirit about, I mean, specifically what Spirit is saying right now is, like, it would have happened to anybody. It wasn't you specifically. It wasn't like, you know, pile two, I almost feel like a lot of you, maybe like some of you got laid off from a job, or some of you got like cut off from a group of people. It's something along those lines, and it boom, out of the blue, because you didn't notice it with the Four of Cups. But pile two, and now this is the light part. Okay, this is where the dichotomy, or like the opposites of light and dark that we talked about with the sun, come out. Because remember this card, I asked Spirit, give me a card that represents pile two in this situation. You got the sun, which means happiness, joy, and truth. I'm going to tell you right now, you might not believe me, you're better off for that happening than had you kept going on the path you were going on. I don't know 100%, maybe I'll pull an extra card. I don't know 100% what would have happened on the initial path, pile number two, but Spirit is saying it's better this way. That's why she's focusing on the butterfly. Yes, when things like that happen, just like the butterfly and the chrysalis turning from a caterpillar into a butterfly, it gets kind of sticky and gooey and messy, and you're like, oh man, that didn't feel very good, right? Ugh. Everything feels like it fell apart, just like the caterpillar does before it becomes the butterfly. But in the end, it's better off for it because it went through that transformation, okay? Okay, just like we see the sun at dawn after the night. The night might not have been the most fun, might have made us a little nervous, might have made us a little bit like, I don't know, this is going, like, is anything positive going to come out of this? And then right at the peak of darkness, in comes the dawn. And then comes that burst of light. Okay. And that burst of light, pile number two, is the Ace of Pentacles. This is why it's better off for you, because you're getting a better opportunity in terms of success, finances, career, or your security. That's what the Ace of Pentacles represents, and especially next to the Four of Wands reversed, because that technically represents, like, right now, that feeling of like, oh, things feel kind of unstable. I feel like I can't celebrate what I was doing before because all of a sudden this thing came out and broadsided me, right? Not fun. But that Ace of Pentacles will fix this Four of Wands and turn it right side up, okay? So look for opportunities, because the Four of Wands reversed in a future position card can also represent maybe like a bit of advice as well. Look for opportunities related to your stability, related to things that you could celebrate. And I know that sounds weird, but sometimes I say weird things and then it resonates and you guys are like, oh, this is why it makes sense, down in the comments down below. But yeah, look for opportunities regarding stability or things that you can celebrate. And that's where the positivity will come from. As I said, I'm going to pull an extra card or two for you, pile two. I want to know what would have happened had you been on the other path, like before all this occurred. So, Spirit, can you tell me why for pile number two? Why for pile number two was that a worse path to have walked, despite the setback that this path provided them? Why were they oriented this way? Why were they pushed this path? I mean, I know there was a positive thing coming out of this path, but what was bad about the other path for them? There we go. The Empress, okay, something to do with what can nurture you. And the Ace of Cups. That's what it was, pile number two. The other path, okay, so the Empress represents nurturing energy. It's feminine energy at its strongest. It also represents healing. It represents growth. The Ace of Cups, too, just like the Ace of Pentacles, is a card of new things. Okay, so Ace of Cups specifically because it's water, which is also a feminine energy, just like the Empress, right? The Ace of Cups represents new energy in terms of our emotions and our relationships and our heart. there's something about the path that you avoided through this sticky situation that didn't feel so good, right? But it's better for you in the end. The path you avoided, pile number 2, they're saying because of these 2 cards, there was some issue with healing and or growth and or new opportunities in terms of like your heart or your emotions or like relationships that you could have forged. It almost feels like maybe it was a bit of a dead end. Maybe you were already kind of feeling that anyways. So like, for example, if you did get laid off, there wouldn't have been much growth there for you anyways. Whereas now, yes, this part sucked. Don't get me wrong. 10 of Swords is never a fun time, but it leads to a better opportunity in the future. Okay. So pay attention to those opportunities. That's why it was a dead end for you. It was kind of like moving you from a garden that had no nutrients left in the soil to a garden that had greater nutrients for the seeds that you would plant in it. Okay. So let's put those down in the middle. Let's draw your oracle cards, pile number 2. I'm going to draw an oracle from angels today first to begin. Thought I would infuse some angel energy in our readings. I was like, that it's fun. Especially lately. Angels feel nice, right? Okay, angels for pile 2. What else do you want to say to them about this situation? Seemed kind of bad at first, but then it gets better, right? There we go, right there. We have learning experience, yes. Okay, so here's another thing, pile 2. And this is one of the hardest parts of going through a difficult time in our lives, is when we're in the thick of it, we don't think of it as, oh, this is a great learning experience. When we're in the thick of it, we're just thinking, oh crap, what do I do now? Oh God, this thing came along, it broadsided me, what am I supposed to do? Uh-oh. But there's something about this, the angels are saying, that provided a fertile ground for you to grow in some way that will benefit you in the future. Okay? Sometimes it's, especially like when we're laid off, sometimes that helps us, you know, and it might sound in kind of a weird, ironic way, but sometimes being laid off helps us understand our worth. Because we get to a better job and we're like, oh, this place treats me so much better and pays me so much more than that other place. And had I stayed at that other place, they wouldn't have valued me nearly as much, right? Things like that. Or, you know, I'm trying to think of like other situations this might apply to. Let's see, if not like laid off from a job, then or maybe it was a bad breakup. Then you get into a new relationship and you're like, oh, this person treats me so much better. Just like that Ace of Pentacles, it's a new opportunity, right? And this relationship actually can go somewhere that I want it to go. Maybe greater commitment, or you align more in your values and the things and the goals that you want to achieve with this person, okay? And it's like, yeah, technically the original thing sucked, you know, to go through losing it or to go through the feeling of being broadsided, but at the same time, pile 2, perhaps it taught you how to value yourself more. Perhaps it taught you more about your boundaries. Perhaps it taught you more about what you really want from a relationship. Things like that. Okay, so the angels are specifically saying to you, pile 2, think to yourself, what have I learned from this experience? And that will also help you on your path towards this opportunity coming forward that will make everything you went through all the better, all the worth it. Okay? Right there. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. We have the full moon temple, number 27. Look at that, pile 2. Celebration. Peak and transcendent moment. Because guess what other card represented celebration? Do you remember? That one. Celebration. Things are going to get better, pile 2. You're on your way towards a transcendent moment, transcending the bad thing that occurred. You're going towards something that will be worthy of celebration, like, you know, say, finding that job after being laid off, finding a better relationship after getting out of a bad one, right? Something that's the peak, okay? Something that is a triumph, something that brings you that happiness and that joy with that sun card that we explained earlier, okay? And full moon, too, just like, because it says full moon temple, right? Full moons represent, yes, like the peak of something. It's when the moon is waxed at its highest, right? It's its biggest, largest. It really is a representation of greatest manifestation when it's at that highest peak, okay? And it is a reminder, too, that we go through life in cycles. It's interesting because you have the sun and the moon here. As I was saying in the very beginning, there's something here about light and dark. As dark as the things that have occurred here, pile number 2, in reciprocity, you're going to find things return back to you that match the power of the dark things in the light, in the happiness and the joy, okay? It's a rebalancing back towards a pendulum swing from, here's the bad time, the dark time, towards, okay, here's the pendulum swing all the way over here to the happy, better times, okay? And then last but not least, we have your Sacred Destiny Oracle. Anything else you want to say to pile 2, Spirit? Thank you. And 2, I'm feeling a lot of you. I was looking at that angel card again as I was shuffling. Because he's holding his hand over his heart, something about the learning experience was, they're saying to pay attention to how it made you feel, as well as the main lesson might be something related to the heart. And towards realizing how you really felt about where you were. So especially for those of you that left a job, I think a lot of the learning experience is you realizing, well, that job kind of sucked anyways. Okay, like something like that. Oh, healing chaos. Look at all these positive cards, pile number 2. And those of you who are familiar with my readings, you know I don't sugarcoat. So when bad things come out, I do admit it. I do say it. And then I get dislikes on the video, I notice. But not to shame anyone, but I do notice when I say negative things, sometimes people are like, I hate this reading, and then they dislike. Anyways, no. But on the other hand, just like the symbolism that we said with like the dark and the light, I don't sugarcoat the positive things. And I'm seeing for you, pile number 2, this is a very, very positive reading. We have healing chaos here. And look at the butterflies came out. Not just butterflies, but they look like monarchs in different colors. Okay. Transformation, things getting better after they've been kind of, a little cramped and sticky there in the chrysalis, right? Moving towards happy, peace, and healing from what was wounded. Okay. So you're on the mend here soon, pile number 2. For some reason, I think some of you, I don't know if right now you're asking about timing as you're watching this. I'm getting an intuitive hit of like, well, tell me when. So I'm going to draw a card on that. Spirit, if you could, please, could you tell me one final thing for pile 2? What's the timing on the thing that they're waiting for to get better? The timing, thank you. Timing. The 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so something to do with 2. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Also tends to represent halves. Okay. So like the latter half of the month that you're in currently. 2 can also represent February because it's the second month of the year. Something along those lines, pile number 2. Hey, speaking of pile number 2, hey, your number is 2, right? I'm going to see if there's anything else I hear about this particular timing message. 1 second, pile 2. Spirit saying soon in capital letters. Like capital S-O-O-N. Soon. Okay, so I would say faster than you expect. It might kind of come just like the bad thing that happened that came out of the blue. You're going to see that reciprocity of the good thing happening out of the blue. It feels like, okay, so soon, all caps is what they're saying. Okay, so 2 days, 2 weeks, maybe 2 months at most is what I'm hearing. If you're watching this at the time that it's uploaded, if not, near in the future, maybe February or so, depending on what time of the year you're in, okay? So that is your reading for today, my wonderful pile number 2. Gorgeous. I'm so happy for you. I'm excited for you. I'm positive things across the board after what seems to have been a time of darkness and some struggle. So if you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, and if it helped you, of course, that's what I care about most, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe to Lone Pine Tarot if you have not done so already, as I always say. And in our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile number 2, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your heartfelt message from the universe reading, and as you recall, you were drawn to the good old-fashioned Smith-Waite Centennial Tarot deck for your pile today. Here, of course, is your Wheel of Fortune. But as I always say, when we choose with tarot decks, I'm going to set your card right back into your deck so that it's available for the message if need be. And let's draw your tarot spread right now. So Spirit coming forward for the highest best good in mind for pile 3 today, with best intentions, with light. Please help me and guide me to the right cards to explain what it is that the universe wants to tell them. Thank you. I'm getting the feeling intuitively, pile 3, as I'm drawing your cards today. There's something you've been really quietly watching and waiting for. I say that because the imagery I'm seeing is like, it sounds kind of silly, but like you sitting and waiting in the bushes, kind of peeking out, like, is it safe yet? Is this thing happening yet? And it's not, I don't feel like it's a really major, like, oh, I want this thing to happen in terms of like a big goal that you've been working on, or maybe some of you it is, but at the same time, like, for more of you, I'm feeling it's like you're waiting till the coast is clear, or you're waiting for something to clear up. Like, you're like, man, I'm going to set out on my ship, but I want to make sure the storm is gone before I do this particular thing. It's like you're waiting for things to calm down, waiting for something to get better. Okay. Let's see. We'll talk about that more with your cards, but that is at least the first intuitive hit that I'm getting from Spirit. Spirit, can you tell me more about pile 3 and then their own role in this situation with the Pastoral Tarot deck? Thank you. Yeah, it's like you peeking out of a bush and looking around like, is it safe to come out yet? Is it okay to come out yet? It's kind of cute, actually. Very like in an innocent way, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's like not important what you're looking out for to clear, but I don't get a big feeling of like fear off of it though, pile 3, but you're still waiting. You're like, man, checking your watch. You're like, is it okay? That one, okay, that one right there. We have the 6 of Pentacles. All right, we have, it is a kind of grandmotherly figure sharing what looks like, what is she sharing? I gotta look here. Oh, it's a piece of bread. She's sharing a loaf of bread with the man who came up to her door. He's got more ratty clothing. Obviously doesn't have as much money or wealth as she does. I mean, not that she's rich either, but she is sharing her wealth, what she does have, with him. The goose looking on from the side. And the 6 of Pentacles, well, very obviously was already kind of illustrated with the action of the woman sharing the bread with the man, does represent charity. It does represent fairness. It represents equilibrium of things being distributed to different people, just as she's sharing what she has with him, despite, obviously she's not 100% rich herself, doesn't have a mansion, but yes. So pile 3, combining that with what I felt intuitively, I feel like this message is something about, like, either you're waiting to come out of the bush, symbolically speaking, to give somebody something, or you're waiting for them to give you something. Because it might be either, like, you as the grandmotherly figure, like, wanting to share something with someone, or it might be you as, like, the kind of poor, like, beggar figure, wondering when someone's going to come out to give you something. Or it's like you're waiting to, what's the best time to ask for it. Could be like you're asking for a raise. Could be like you're asking for feedback on like jobs that you've been applying to. Could be waiting for something to be given to you by, could even be, especially with the fairness element of the 6 of Pentacles, like the government, like a tax return or something. I don't know what tax time is for everyone around the world. I know that's typically tends to be about April here for us in the US, but that's what you're waiting for, though. You're waiting for the coast to be clear for you to get some sort of fair pay or fairness, or Being given something. Okay, let's look at your tarot cards otherwise. We have the Empress. Okay, a little bit more of the motherly, grandmotherly energy, providing for other people, right? Because the Empress is the penultimate feminine energy card in tarot. She is the mother. She is the power of feminine energy. She nurtures, she provides, she gives, she heals, all those different things represented by, look at the wheat around her in the field, okay? And she's got the pomegranate on her dress. Kind of makes you think of Persephone, right? Who was... Well, I think she was the daughter of Demeter, who was like a goddess of the harvest, right? Kind of like an empress figure, sort of. And so, yes, that feminine power of being given something or giving something to someone else. So kind of a synchronicity there, because this grandmotherly figure right here, she's an empress figure. She's giving, she's nurturing. Then we have the Page of Wands reversed. Exploring or needing to explore something we're passionate or ambitious about. Okay, I'm going to get some more cards on the table before I explain more what that might mean for context. And then we have the Eight of Swords reversed. Freeing ourselves from something that's kind of like that bush I was telling you about, pile 3. Because the Eight of Swords is typically being kind of stuck somewhere, kind of in a claustrophobic space. Maybe not literally, right, but... and peeking out like, can I free myself from this yet? Can I be let go of this yet? It's like you're waiting to unleash something or someone else to unleash something. Okay. And then we have the Three of Swords, which is the card of pain sometimes. Now, don't run away from the reading the moment I say that. Okay. Because I know sometimes, I've noticed, sometimes if I have cards that come out that are negative, or if I have a slight message that either is a bit constructive or has one slight negative element, I get more dislikes on a video. I notice those things. So don't run away from the reading. I'll know if you do. Or if you dislike it especially, I'll know. But anyways, and then last but not least, we have the King of Swords reversed. Okay. Just had to give my little I notice things spiel. Anyways, so we have, yes, the Empress, Page of Wands reversed, Eight of Swords reversed, Three of Swords, and the King of Swords reversed. Okay, apologies for just one moment here, pile 3. I'm going to look over this and see what comes through intuitively as well to construct your message here from the universe, or interpret, I should say. So waiting in the bush, waiting for that nurturing, waiting for something to be given to you or to give to someone else. Although, are those pomegranates on the Page of Wands shirt? Have I never noticed that before? They kind of do look like pomegranates. I can't quite tell. I'll have to look at a bigger version of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but... interesting. I feel like the other party involved here, though, pile 3... either in if you're waiting for someone to give something to you or for them to do something, or like if you're waiting to like them, either for like, yeah, them to give you something or vice versa, you to do something, like you're like, oh, what's the right timing? The other party involved is just not aware. And I hope that's not like a bad thing to say. I hope that like is taken well by everyone watching this. I don't get a bad feeling out of it though. It's not like they're unaware because they're being malicious. They're just kind of just not noticing. And I say that because the Page of Wands reversed, it's weird because it almost feels like a Four of Cups energy to me, even though you didn't get that card. But the Page of Wands here reversed is like, typically upright, it would be someone who is like, they know that they're looking for something, especially when it comes to things of passion or things about ambition or things that are like that they're confident in, okay? Because that's the element of fire in cartomancy, is those particular elements of life, or like willpower too. So it could also be an element of laziness on the other party's part. Like you're waiting for this thing to clear, or this person to come or to go or whatever, and they're just kind of being lazy. So that's sometimes the Page of Wands reversed, and you're like, man, looking at your watch, you're like, when are you gonna, come on, and then it's just like they're being lazy, or they're just not looking, or they're not paying attention. The twist here, though, pile 3, is... how do I put this? Spirit is saying, you are the one with the power to get things going. I think maybe you've been tiptoeing around it a little bit because you're afraid of the outcome. You're maybe even afraid of, like, how the other party will react. I say this, though, because we have the Eight of Swords reversed next to the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is about pain, and the Eight of Swords reversed is like you could free yourself from something, but you're not. The longer you wait, it might cause more of that pain here with the Three of Swords. But the beautiful part of this message, pile 3, is that it is within your power, as I said, to free yourself to avoid this pain of the Three of Swords. And the pain, like I said, I don't see it as like a drastic, major, something really bad, pile 3. It's just that whatever you're frustrated with this other party, that's just going to continue and cause pain and troubles until you free yourself and you get the ball rolling. So it's not a situation where, I know maybe you're kind of metaphorically waiting in that bush, you're peeking around, you're like, is it safe to do this thing yet? Are they gone yet? Is the coast clear? Is this going to happen? As much as it might make you feel a little nervous, Spirit is saying you need to come out of the bush to make this situation more fair. To either give someone something or to have them give you something. You have to do it. It's in your court, okay? And the King of Swords here at the very end reversed can represent a figure that is harsh of word. Someone that's kind of ruthless with their words. They're especially maybe someone that isn't forthcoming about their true intentions, because a King of Swords reversed could mean someone that like lies about something. And especially next to the Three of Swords is like that's what's really causing the pain if you don't take the power into your own hands. This other party might not see the truth. Sometimes the King of Swords is someone that doesn't see the truth, especially if they're kind of just more on the unaware side with that Page of Wands reverse. Like, as I said, I don't think it's necessarily malicious, though. It's just like they're not getting the message that you're sending out in the subtle way that you're sending it. You almost need to be a bit more blunt, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it now. And I know maybe you fear being more blunt, but that's the problem, is that you tiptoeing around the issue is just might cause more problems in the future. So Spirit is saying, free yourself with that Eight of Swords, pile 3. Free yourself. Also, because of all the feminine energy symbols, not only the grandmotherly figure here in the Six of Pentacles, and then the Empress too, lean into soft feminine power when you do this, if you choose to do so, to free yourself and get the ball rolling, come out of the bush and say, you know what, I don't care if the coast is clear, I'm doing it. Screw waiting, right? But do it in that feminine power way of gentle wording. Do it in the feminine power way of subtlety, okay? In terms of receptivity rather than forcing others, okay? Do it the subtle way. Do it the feminine power way. Like if you were to, for a moment here, pile number 3. Say that you gave an Empress and an Emperor the same exact task. How would the Emperor do a particular thing? Probably would just race right at it. Probably with that masculine energy would, go forward with that control, with that masculine power of action, right? Boom. Makes a beeline for whatever the thing he's trying to accomplish. An Empress, on the other hand, pile number 3, what she does is she waits, or at least like she's subtle in the way that she does something. She doesn't immediately tackle it right from the front. She figures out all the paths towards it. She figures out, how can I do this in a way that's softer? In a way where I am receptive rather than, and more passive rather than active about it. Okay, a soft touch here is needed. Although Spirit is saying the ball's in your court, nothing's going to get done until you do something, that doesn't mean to do something in an in-your-face way. You can still balm your nervousness about this if you do it in that soft power way. Okay, let's look at some of your other cards, pile number 3. All right. I'm a little curious about that King of Swords and Three of Swords, though. I'm going to draw just, actually, before we do your oracle cards, I apologize. I'm going to draw just one more card of clarification on those two. Spirit, can you tell me more about especially the King of Swords reversed? What do you mean with that? Like I said, I think there might be a bit of a, someone not understanding the truth or being harsh with their words because the message is just not getting sent or received. Well, it's being sent, I think, subtly, but you're sending things out subtly, I think, pile number 3, but like the other person just is not getting it. What do you mean, Spirit, with that? The Lovers. Okay, so that can mean harmony in a relationship. It can also mean that this might specifically for a lot of you be regarding a romantic relationship. Not always. The Lovers, too, can more traditionally represent a choice of some sort. Okay. So be honest about the options available in front of you and the other party. Maybe you need to give them options. That might be a way in terms of... Instead of saying you need to do this, like that masculine, more active energy we were talking about, do it more in the feminine way of, well, here's the problem, here's our potential solutions, you choose, so that the other party takes the masculine action of, okay, I choose. Because I almost wonder if the other party involved, pile 3, might feel better about whatever this is if they have the feeling that it was a choice that they made rather than that you made for them. Okay. Something along those lines. Let's see. I want to pick your angel card next. So, Spirit, could you tell me more? Maybe an angel message on this particular reading for pile 3. Thank you. Any other advice or want to give them a heads up about something? Okay, right there. Okay, friendship and union. That's kind of like the Lovers we were seeing here. Definitely something to do with a relationship with somebody. I mean, which was kind of obvious that we saw earlier. This leans more platonic because of, it's like it says friendship. But it is like that Lovers energy of harmony and relationship. Friendship and union. Yeah, I mean, here's another thing too. If you're trying to convince someone of something that's kind of difficult to get them to like agree to, but like you know that it's necessary, it might be good to frame it in a way, pile number 3, of like, oh, what's the best way to put it? It might be better to frame it in a way of like, I'm on your side. I mean, it's not like manipulative because it's not like you're not on their side. I mean, maybe some of you aren't. It depends on your particular situation, pile 3, but still at the same time, it's like the other person will be more receptive if you come at it from like, okay, let's tackle this like a team rather than, and let's tackle it like, well, what's the best for both of us rather than, you know, you're doing ABC and you need to stop, or, you know, I want to do this thing and you know, here's your one choice. It's like compromise and choices and soft power, as I said. I know it's repetitive, but are going to be your key through this. Okay, that's what... So really, what is technically this message from the universe today, Spirit, from Spirit for you, pile 3, is it's like an advice reading, really, it seems like. They want to give you advice on navigating this. And then we have the meditation, number 26, peace, relief, and sanctuary. Okay, so I think pile 3, too. If what has... fueling your nervousness is a fear of chaos after this coming out of the bush moment, you know, or you kind of coming forward in feminine energy power saying, hey, let's make progress in this area. Here are your options. Let's work together, right? This is Spirit basically saying it's going to be okay. As the card says, peace, relief, sanctuary. Also, it might be part of what's causing you wanting to do this or wanting this to occur is you want more peace and relief and sanctuary from something. Maybe that's part of the issue the other party has been causing is a lack of peace or relief or sanctuary. In that case, if that applies to you, pile 3, Spirit is saying focus on that to help fuel you through maybe the bit of the awkward coming out of the bush moment with this person or this party of people. It could be more than one person, right? Because you deserve to have peace. You deserve to have relief. You deserve to have sanctuary, okay? And same thing, too. It might be on the other end with them, too. Maybe in a way it would bring them peace and relief as well, and sanctuary. It almost feels like a situation where it's just like maybe the two of you aren't really destined to be aligned in some way, and it's not always like an explosive like, oh, we hate each other type of thing. I mean, some of you maybe are coming across a situation that's a bit more intense than that, but I think for a lot of you it's just you just don't work well together. Maybe it just doesn't work well together with what is that specific thing that you want to get going or to do together or whatever. It's like a let's part ways, or let's do this, and no need to feel bad about it. It's just the stars weren't aligned. It just doesn't work. We both deserve peace and relief, and together maybe we're on this particular thing that we're trying to do. It's just not working out. It's that kind of feeling I'm getting intuitively, pile number 3. Or like maybe that's at least the way that you could word it to this other party to kind of get their attention, and then lean into that power of freeing yourself from the energy of the 8 of Swords reversed, you know? Okay, and then the last card from Spirit today is Solitude. Dang, you have a lot of cards like this. Okay, so pile 3. Not only do we have a lot of cards about fairness and balance between different people, and 2, like the dichotomy, like 2 different opposites, like with the Lovers here, but then you also have that in like the friendship and union as well. It's like 2 people coming together, or 2 people that are like opposites, or 2 people that are like they're together, but then you have 2 different cards on the other hand that talk about being alone. You have Solitude, and you have the Meditation, where she's alone in peace and relief and sanctuary. This might be a nudge from Spirit that actually, like, the best path forward maybe is to be alone. Maybe is to go separate ways, potentially, because of all of this. And once again, I don't feel like it's, for most of you, this massive, like, bad thing. It just feels like it's more fair and better for both of you, or both parties, that way. Like, you might find it's one of those situations where maybe you're expecting a fight, but then it comes down to it, and then the other party is like, well, okay, yeah, I guess maybe that won't work, or maybe we need to do this instead. Okay. And it's like they're urging you towards more solitude, towards more your own. What is peace or relief? Here's the final question to ask yourself, that I'll cap the reading off with, pile number 3. What does peace, relief, or sanctuary look like to you in this situation? And go towards that without fear. Okay? Do not fear. You have the power. You're the only one in the situation with the power, or the willpower, perhaps, even if it's... The other party might have the power, they might just not have the willpower, right? To bring whatever this pain has been to an end, okay? So lean into that soft power. Find and seek your peace, rather than, chaos, and maybe a partnership that doesn't work, or, a project that you're working on with someone else that isn't working, or a team that isn't working, whatever your situation might be, okay? And see if you might be able to take a more solitary path. So yes, that was an advice reading. Interesting. Most of the other piles today were kind of like prediction piles, but for you, pile 3, the universe wanted to give you advice to help you through whatever this situation is for you. So I hope most of all, of course, that you liked the reading, it helped you, and that it resonated with you. And if so, please, like the video, comment down below your story. I love hearing your feedback and hearing about your situations and updates from all of you, as well as please subscribe if you haven't done so already to the channel. And as I always say on Lone Pine Tarot, in our tradition, I wish you a wonderful, less chaotic rest of your day, pile number 3. One that's more fair to you too, right? Remember, the power is in your court. The ball is in your court. It's in your hands, okay? So, wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.